if you were to give someone advice on breaking into YouTube now, mainly YouTube fitness, what would it be? Some people say it's oversaturated. Personally, I don't think so. What's your take?
Yeah, it's definitely not oversaturated. If I was going to give somebody advice, it would be specific, like almost technical advice rather than, broad, overarching, do what makes you happy and be passionate about every video or something like, you know what I mean? Like generic advice like that is really, you can figure that shit out yourself if you're just a normal human. Like, I would probably say, A, make sure every video has a purpose. Mm-hmm. B, make sure you can deliver on that purpose and in a way that doesn't waste people's time. Yeah. Right? Don't go off into your video like with 3 minutes of intro. You don't have to justify, right? If I want to do a video called how to grow calves, right? I don't have to start it by saying I was on the bus the other day and the guy sat next to me had big calves and it made me feel about my calves, and then so I thought I'd make this video about how to grow big calves. Like, you don't have to justify why you're making a video or anything like that. Get immediately into the title of the video from second number fucking one, right? So just limit your preamble, right? Make your thumbnails clear and consistent with the title of the video. Yeah. Make your title very to the point and exactly do what it says on the tin, right? So if your title is a home workout without dumbbells or some shit, that's exactly what you should be delivering in the video. I would say try to have an idea about, first of all, be quite ruthlessly critical of your own shit, right? Don't take anything for granted. Don't assume that people will watch anything because it's you, right? Because when you watch yourself, I watch my own like vlogs, like the personal ones I do, and I watch them back and I think I'm funny as fuck. This is sick. Everyone should want to watch this, right? But not everyone is watching me through that lens, right? If you're you have to watch through the lens of a stranger and be like, would someone who doesn't know me want to watch this for the content, not for me, right? So I mentioned titles, thumbnails, content straight to the point. I would probably try and warn against being too, like following trends too much, because it's kind of there are things that work in titles, right? There are ways to structure a title, certain words and phrases that do well. For example, daily routine does well. Yeah. Or I do this every day does well, right? Something like that. And you can incorporate those things into your title. But when you're, like we were saying, like carbon copying somebody else's content, it's going to get stale really fast. You see a lot of people doing videos that worked for Matt Does Fitness 2 or 3 years ago and fall on their ass today, right? Yeah. And this is one of the complaints I hear a lot from like TikTokers. You have to stay up to date on it. It's a full-time job staying up to date on trends, right? I think like if you're informative, then you don't really have to be on trends so much. Yeah. That's another reason why I prefer informative style content, because don't have to keep up with shit. Don't have to put myself through stupid shit just for this. I don't want to be a spectacle. Yeah. I don't want to be like, this guy tried this and did that. Like, some people do that. Will does that really well because he's genuinely fucking just engaging and funny, right? Yeah. He's a funny guy, but lots of people who aren't funny do it, and it's kind of shit. Yeah, right? Yeah. So plays his strengths is another one. Maybe that's a bit too general. What have I got? Titles, thumbnails, content. I think that's pretty much it, man. Yeah. Do you think someone can either have it or just not have it? Like, have that X factor? I don't think so. I think like if you haven't got it, you can develop it. Like, I think that me too. It depends, right, on your style of content. if you're a vlogger, you probably need to be a bit interesting.
Yeah.
Some kind of level of enthusiasm might be nice. Do you know what I mean? Just being generally an engaging person, interesting, sound. They're all going to be fucking beneficial, right? If you're a bit of a tit and you walk around in a mood every day, vlogging ain't really going to be your strong point, right? But if you're just like teaching people something or offering some kind of informative style content, then you can pick it up, man. All it is that speaking to camera, you know, pronouncing your word. I've tried to work a lot on how I pronounce. People might think that I've got an accent still, right? I have, of course, but
myself.
Like, yeah, me. I say me. Yeah. I don't pronounce me T's. You know what I mean? And so, like, I try and be conscious of speaking a bit more clearly. Yeah. And then during your videos, you should make it somewhat engaging, right? Don't have like a minute-long clip of just your face talking, right? Illustrate what you're talking about with something. It doesn't have to be a perfect illustration, a diagram of the like knee flexion, right? Yeah. It could just be something funny, or it could just be a bit of text on the screen. Yeah. Just give it something to be engaging. Like, put a fucking track in the background. Like, listen to it with and without headphones, so you know if it's just overly, you know, irritating or whatever it is, you know. And just like try and make a polished video. You know what I mean? Yeah. It would really. It's amazing, like how bad some shit is. Not that that's amazing, but what's amazing is that people don't realize how bad it is. But I've done that myself. Like back in the day, I put something up and thought this is a sick training montage, and it's like, you know, Android 1, like fucking shaky ass clip and like 480p, and it's just terrible. You can't do the same shit with one camera that you can do with another camera, etc. Right? Do things like light your scene well. Yeah. Have good audio, right? You would be amazed. A lot of people, viewers, they're watching a video and they don't really know the mechanics of why it's good. They don't really know why they watch it. They're not going to pinpoint your video over someone else's and go, oh, you know what, that audio quality is really good. It makes it much easier to digest the video, or etc. Or like, you know what, there's a lot of like other engaging stuff on the screen here. It's like, it's keeping me engaged with it, right? A lot of this goes unnoticed, but it's important, especially for like viewer retention and stuff like that. So I think like getting to grips with the technical stuff, I suppose this is true of a lot of things. Getting to grips with how to be good at it technically is probably going to stand you in better stead than just someone giving you just esoteric advice about like, you know, generalized stuff. I think that's kind of useless in a lot of instances. So.